Every Saturday afternoon, Emma sat at the same table by the window at Dorian's café. The cafe wasn't fancy. It was small, quiet, and smelled like cinnamon and old wood. That's exactly why she liked it. She always ordered a cappuccino with extra cinnamon, brought her journal, and wrote. Sometimes she wrote poetry. Sometimes she just scribbled down passing thoughts. It was her space, her time. Emma liked watching people walk past the large glass window. She'd give them little stories in her head. The woman in the red coat was an artist. The old man with the cane had once been a sailor. The young couple arguing. Maybe they'd just moved in together. But today, the streets were different. Rain tapped gently on the glass, and the world outside wore shades of gray. She was about to go back to her journal when she saw him. He was standing across the street, holding a black umbrella, looking straight at her. Emma's eyes met his, and the world stilled for a moment. He smiled. It wasn't a big smile, just a soft curve, polite but warm. She smiled back instinctively. She didn't know why. And then, as quickly as it happened, a city bus rolled between them. Her view disappeared behind silver metal and blurred windows. When the bus passed, he was gone. She stood up, pressed her hand against the glass, but there was only rain and reflections of her own curious face. The following Saturday, Emma came back early. She chose the same seat, ordered the same drink, and waited. He didn't come. She came back the next week, still nothing. She told herself it was silly. Maybe he was just a stranger. Maybe he didn't even smile at her. Maybe it was at someone else behind her. But deep down, she knew. There had been something in his eyes. 3 weeks later, it was raining again. Emma sighed as she stirred her cappuccino. She wasn't even writing anymore, just sitting there, the page blank. That's when the barista walked up and handed her something. "A guy left this here for you," he said. Emma blinked. "What guy?" "I don't know. Tall black coat. Left about 10 minutes ago." She opened the small white envelope. Inside, there was a handwritten note. "You smiled at me through the rain. I've been coming here every Saturday, hoping you'd smile again." Her fingers trembled slightly as she read it again. She looked out the window. This time, no one was there. The note didn't have a name or a number, just that single sentence. Emma didn't know what to do. She wrote a letter back that night. She didn't know where to send it. But the next Saturday, she came early and gave it to the barista. "If someone leaves another note for me, can you give them this?" The barista smiled. "Romance, huh?" Emma laughed nervously. "I guess." Her letter was simple. "I waited too. Every Saturday. I thought you were gone. My name is Emma." The next week, another envelope waited for her. This time it said, "I'm Daniel. I thought I'd imagined you, or that you weren't real. Can we meet? Next Saturday, 3 p.m. I'll be outside the window again. If you smile, I'll come in." Emma's heart raced. She read the note 3 times. She circled the date in her journal, then underlined it. Saturday came. Rain again. She dressed carefully, trying not to look like she was trying too hard. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. 2:58 p.m. She sat down, ordered her cappuccino, watched the window. 3 p.m. No one. 3:05 p.m. Still nothing. She tried not to panic. Maybe traffic? Maybe he changed his mind? Then, at 3:07, he appeared. Tall, black coat, umbrella, same soft smile. He looked at her through the glass. Emma didn't hesitate this time. She smiled, big and bright. He stepped forward, and then the door opened. Daniel stepped inside, closing his umbrella. The rainwater dripped onto the doormat. He looked nervous, even though his smile remained. Emma stood up, unsure of what to say, but Daniel broke the silence. "Hi," he said softly. "I'm Daniel, though I suppose you already knew that." She smiled. "Emma." They sat down. He ordered a cappuccino, just like hers, with cinnamon. "You drink it with cinnamon too?" she asked. "I do now," he said, grinning. They laughed. The awkwardness melted quickly. The coffee came. The conversation flowed. They talked about small things, books, favorite places, movies they both hated. They realized they had walked the same streets for years without ever meeting. And yet, something about that moment by the window made it all feel inevitable. Over the next few weeks, Emma and Daniel met every Saturday at the café. He told her about his job, graphic design, mostly freelance. He worked from home, which made him a little lonely. She told him about her writing. Her journal was full of half-finished stories, thoughts she never shared, until now. They didn't always talk. Sometimes they just sat, watched the rain, and shared silence. It was the kind of quiet that felt safe. Daniel started sketching her sometimes, quick pencil drawings on napkins. "I'm not good," he'd say. "They're perfect," she'd reply. One Saturday, Daniel didn't sit across from her at their usual table. Instead, he waited by the counter with 2 coffees in his hand. "Let's walk," he said. The rain had stopped. The air smelled like wet leaves and new beginnings. They walked through the city park. She told him about her childhood. He told her about his father, who passed away when he was 14. Then he asked, "What are you afraid of?" Emma hesitated. "I'm afraid of starting something that might end." He nodded slowly. "Me too." But he reached for her hand anyway. She didn't let go. Autumn turned to winter. Their Saturdays became more than routine. They were something sacred. But then one day, Daniel's smile was smaller. His eyes didn't hold the same ease. "I have to tell you something," he said. He'd been offered a job in another city, a big opportunity, something stable, something he'd been waiting for. Emma felt her heart sink. "How long?" she asked. 2 years, he replied. "But I haven't said yes." She looked at him. "Why not?" He looked back. "Because of this. Because of you." They didn't talk much that week. Emma sat by the window again, alone, just like before. But it wasn't the same. The coffee didn't taste the same. The world outside felt muted. Then a note arrived. Daniel's handwriting. Just one line. "Will you wait for me if I go?" She stared at it. She didn't know the answer. She wanted to say yes, but she was scared, so she wrote back, "Will you come back if I wait?" Daniel left. Their last day together was quiet. No promises, no declarations, just 2 cappuccinos, 2 people, a soft goodbye at the door of the coffee shop. She didn't cry until he turned the corner. Weeks passed, then months. They wrote letters, real ones, with stamps, handwritten. Daniel sent her sketches of places he missed, the cafe window, the park bench, her face. Emma sent him pages from her journal, poems she once kept to herself. Each Saturday, she still sat by the window. The baristas never asked. They just brought her coffee with cinnamon. It was raining again. Emma sat by the window, reading one of Daniel's letters. She didn't know how many she had now. Dozens. Maybe more. Then the door opened. She looked up. It was him. No letter this time. No umbrella. Just Daniel, wet from the rain, smiling. He walked over, said nothing, just placed 2 cappuccinos on the table. She smiled. With cinnamon? Always, he said. Some love stories are like fireworks, loud, bright, and fast. Others are like rain, soft, quiet, and slow. But if you wait long enough, you realize rain helps everything grow.